I'm good, James. How are you?
Good, man. Good. Really excited to talk to you as we head into the finale. But I want to rewind a
Yeah.
little bit because I think one of the best scenes all season, bar none, was the scene where Victor has those memories come flooding back of his sister and the drawings and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So let's go back to that for just a couple
Thank
minutes.
you.
What was it
Yeah.
like filming that scene? And I think that's going to be one of the most memorable ones. No matter how long this show runs, that one's always going to stick out to me. What was that like?
Oh, thanks so much, man. First of all, I'm very grateful for that. Thank you. Yeah. I was blessed with a really beautiful story arc this season that really landed. I mean, that was just one of the milestones of it that landed there for Victor as as his memories are coming back to him. Shooting it was interesting. I didn't know, we never know what the milestones are going to be for our characters, obviously. So they just arrive in the script form and then we open them and we go, okay, page one. Okay, it looks like I survived this episode. That's good. And then, I saw that and I was really floored because I'll admit this, James, this is not what I was expecting. You know what I mean? Definitely not. I didn't see that coming. So the approach to it really was just using what I was given there. I still think that Victor is still piecing this together, but to really find a way for myself as an actor to show up on that day. I mean, I'm working with Catalina. I'm in the safety and the beauty of that cast and crew, and Brad Turner was directing, and just going in and knowing that I was safe to go as far as I wanted to with that, and just figuring out a way in my prep to figure out how I can arrive at that moment, which is always a challenge as an actor, right? Like, how do you open up how do you, when that news arrives, how do you play the surprise of it all? How do you, because in film, and as you know, right, there's a number of setups with camera. You have to do it a number of times. So it's just, there's a number of technical factors of like figuring out, okay, I've got so much steam, like how many times am I doing this? And I think it just doing my best to go for the truth of it. And yeah, I mean, overall, I was really pleased with how that the whole episode turned out. And those were some of my favorite scenes with Catalina because I think they're also the most connected Victor is, with someone. That's the closest relationship now that it seems like he has with
It's
that
fun.
mother figure.
Yeah, it's funny that we've kind of drifted into that this season
Yeah.
and kind of given what you just said, it seems
Hmm.
like Tabitha kind of wants to take the ball and run with it and follow the same path that Victor's
Yeah.
mother did as well. There's two
Yeah.
sides. Is there two sides to that for him? The side of let's see this through, but also the I can't watch somebody do this again side as well.
Yeah. I mean, I think I absolutely that's it. And that's an amazing question. Yeah, it's very conflicting, isn't it? On one hand, it's like sending somebody off into the fray, like who knows what's going to happen. This could mean it's all life or death. I mean, I think that that's ultimately the bottom line, right? I think that that's what Tabitha brings forward to me in that bedroom scene, where she comes in and sits down and goes, Victor, look, I know you're scared, but bad things are going to happen anyway. It's all like, and I think that maybe, that there's this idea too, right? That that's, I don't know, Victor's not convinced that there is a way out of this thing, but I think he's definitely getting a feeling, this connection with this mother figure, that he has a greater purpose here and she really needs him. And I think that that's what I was responding to more of, even as reluctant as he is.
Do you think he also finds that in Ethan as well? Because I kind of feel like there was a real turning point recently in his
Yeah.
relationship with Ethan too, and not just touch on that a little bit, but also how hard is it to be
Mm.
mean to him when you had to be mean to him because this poor kid just wants a friend and you've got to feel awful, man.
I know it's so true. I know. Well, I love that. I loved what they did with that relationship this season. It was great. And I think, I mean, he's a pro. Simon is the greatest. I mean, if this answers it, here's a quick little funny anecdote. So that scene where we're outside, we haven't seen each other in a while, and he shows up and I'm blowing him off and I turn to him and I say, the orange marker that you gave me is a bad gift. You know, we kept laughing and he kept corpsing in it. Like he thought that was the funniest thing. So, it's not difficult in the sense that like, I feel like he's really getting hurt. I think he and I have we have a great little friendship outside of all that, that he knows, again, to talk about safety, that we can walk in and do any of that stuff. And yeah, I'm not going to say it's not hard to do it in the, certainly in the moment, but again, he's just such a little pro, and those two scenes, they turned out pretty sweet, pretty lovely.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that laughed at that, honestly, because I
Yeah.
laughed at that same scene and I was like, do I feel bad for laughing at this? Because I kind of do. Really quickly, Scott, before I let you
Yeah.
go, of course, we've got the finale coming up. We don't want to spoil anything,
Yeah.
but what are your hopes for maybe a season 3? What would you like to see in a potential
Yeah.
third season for Victor?
For Victor, I just want to see, I'm curious to see where they're going to with Jeff Pinkner and John, where they're gonna take this storyline now in terms of these connections that I've made, with Tabitha, with Jade, for instance, and in terms of that greater purpose thing that I was just talking about, how that's all just sort of going to come together. Like how much more ingrained is Victor going to become in this in the town, and his connections with people. I think I'm sort of interested to see where that goes because that would change him. Obviously he's already starting.
No doubt about that. We'll have to see what
Yeah.
happens in the season 2 finale, which is going to be this Sunday night on MGM Plus. Make sure you're watching it right away. Don't
Oh
wait
yeah.
because some stuff
Yeah.
really does happen, especially with this guy here. Scott McCord, thank you so much, man, for your time. I really,
Thank you,
really
James.
appreciate it.
Appreciate you.